Welcome to the Live Bright Show, the pod for badass service-based entrepreneurs who are creating businesses and lives that are fun, successful, and free. And now your host, seven-figure business owner, coach, and founder of the Live Bright movement, here to help you own your potential, Molly Moran.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I am so excited because I've got truly a bright AF leader with me here today. His name is Tyler Starkey. Tyler is the author of two books. One is called The Best Known Beat the Best. One is called Built Not Bought. That's his latest one. We're going to get into both of those. He's the owner of Tulsa Pros window and gutter cleaning, as well as TS Services Pro Exterior Cleaning. He's the founder of Washing with a Purpose, which is a nonprofit organization that does exterior cleaning, pressure washing, window washing for people who are undergoing treatment for cancer. He's a real estate investor. He's a business coach. He's a dedicated husband. He's a father. He's just told me before we got started, he's starting a new business. He's got so much going on. Welcome to the show, Tyler. I'm so glad you're here.
I feel really good about myself after hearing that, because some days it doesn't feel that way.
I hear you. I just had a conversation the other day with this mastermind that I'm in because I was feeling, I don't know, sort of lame about myself.
Sure.
We all have these little dips, and but right before I got on that call, I'd had a conversation with a banker who was trying to get my business. And so she was also sort of selling to me and other things. And she had done her research, and she was basically talking about how impressive I was. And it was a sales job for sure. But then I was
Sure.
just and I'm not saying I'm super impressive. I don't mean that, although I'm good enough.
You're pretty incredible.
I'm pretty cool. But my point is that sometimes we forget all the things that we're doing. So I'm glad I could provide that reminder, just like that lady did for me that day. And I was like when you surround yourself with amazing people, you forget that what we do as entrepreneurs and business owners isn't necessarily the norm.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was having one of those dip days this last week because it was like you're eating just poop sandwiches all day kind of day.
Yep.
I had to take a walk with some coffee. I was like, we've come a long ways. Where was this at? 7 years ago. Okay. Rehype yourself.
Yep. Refocus. A little perspective goes a long way. Poop sandwiches. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Tyler, let's start out with, I'd love to just know, because you do have so many things going on. What's the most fun you've had in business in the last year?
I think when it was a few years ago, we really became a staffing first operation more than even our customers. So it was like a different view of the hierarchy of how we do things. So traditionally in a growth of a business, it's like, we're trying to get clients to get revenue, get some invoices back in your account and stuff. And after we kind of had some of that capital capacity built up, we could kind of reframework how we wanted to do things moving forward, as far as mental clarity, time clarity, things like that. And then become just putting all of our staff just way above everything, making sure they're enjoying the culture, what we're doing, and to just also just not be so serious all the time. So,
I didn't think of this. I like it. That's good. He's got it. For those of you who can't see, he just put on a witch's hat, which is excellent. Is that your Halloween costume?
It's my son's. Yeah.
That's your son's. Okay, good. Or is he a wizard, a witch? What is he going to be?
No, this year he's going to be a motocross rider. So he's only 5. So he rides a little track we built here at the house. And he wants to go show his friends really bad at school what he gets to do at home. So he's wearing all his gear and stuff.
And is he going to wear that witch's cap on top of his okay?
No.
Oh, that's from last year. Okay. I'm like, how does that go with the motocross?
No, he got it out the other day with all of our Halloween stuff that Abby went and got out of the attic.
Nice. And
when
that's
you're
awesome.
looking at your systems for mental clarity, what's something that you've had that's really defined a big transparency from stress, anxiety to this is finally hitting my mental clarity goals?
Wait, are you switching? Are you turning into the interviewer here? What's going on, man?
I think you're so interesting. I'm going to sneak in questions too. So
Okay. That's a question I have for you too. So for me, I have a daily practice that I do. It's called the Daily Shine Protocol. And it's basically what kind of keeps me in maintenance as well as moving forward. Shine stands for something. So the S is for space, the H is for health, the I is for intentions and gratitude, the N is for new me, and E is for enjoyment and fun. So this is a protocol that could take 5 minutes or 5 hours. It could be your whole day. It could be whatever, but it's basically a bundle of tiny habits, for lack of a better word, that keep me sort of in tune. And I would say the most important, it's hard to, they really fit together well to help with mental clarity, but space, health, and intentions are the main ones that I would help me with clearing my mind, making decisions from a place that's more grounded. And
Yeah.
by, space means just taking time by yourself every single day. And again, it sounds crazy. I mean, I spend plenty of time by myself, but I am often doing things by myself, right? Whether it's creating or working or, learning or whatever it might be. But the space piece is really just either sitting in quiet, sitting in meditation, journaling a little bit, staring at the wall,
I totally get that.
walking in the woods. You know what I mean? Like those are the things that I think those are my sort of daily habits and practices that help me with that.
That's awesome. I love that. We have some woods out back that I somehow once a day I'm out there just walking to kind of reset the focus for the day.
That's great. Right there on your land, you have that?
Yeah, it's right behind. We have a couple miles of trails back there to go walk and go enjoy. But we keep them like a park. Like I mow them often and trim the trees often. It feels fancy back there. I like it.
That's awesome. So you do that too. So that's a practice you do every day. Does that
Absolutely.
and that must help you with your
I think so, because I feel like my day is always mentally in two directions. It's like the 4 a.m. to 1 o'clock push for operations, and then once TS is like our cleaning stuff is done and subsided, and then I go into the future build out kind of stuff. Like where are we at in the new LLC? Are we on vendor rollouts? Are we still working on pricing with vendors? It's like a different subset of my day for sure.
Okay. Wow. So you're putting in pretty long days these days, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I do because I enjoy it. It's not because like I have to or it's like anxiety ridden. I just naturally wake up at like 3:30 for some reason in the morning.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like I get up, I'm excited to do everything to get the day going. And I don't know. I think it started out from anxiety.
Yeah. Totally. And then you normalize the wake up time.
Yeah, maybe my coping mechanisms. I don't sleep. Oh, this is like a real therapy session.
I love that. I love that honesty because it's interesting. Like there are certainly times that I'm like wide awake and I blame it on friggin' perimenopause or whatever. And I'm like, I might as well just get up and start working. That's what I'm thinking about. And it's 3:30 in the morning. But the cool thing is that we can set our own hours too.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so we can call it quits by noon if we need to or want to.
Yeah, I cut it off typically 5 o'clock every day. That's when Abby and the boys get home. So it's like the 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, like bedtime, dinner routine, hang out with Abby for a few hours and she'll fall asleep and I'll just go back to working on stuff,
Oh, wow. Yeah. You're in that mode. You're in creative mode. Yeah. I get it. It's like, one time I tried to take the week off between Christmas and New Year's. This was a few years ago at home. So not like traveling, like I take time off and travel and do all that, but just at home, like I'm not going to do anything. And I started another business that week. I created like this whole course and started a whole business.
Oh, I feel that for sure.
That wasn't my plan, but I was like, well, business for me is such a creative outlet too. So it's
it's
really,
like
it's
a release.
fun.
It is an execution. I totally get it.
Yeah, it's fun. So what do you do other than going out in the woods? And that might be the main thing, but just put that question right back on you, Tyler. What do you do to sort of maintain all that balance or maybe it's not balance, but maintain yourself in all of the things that you're doing?
I think it's constantly moving because like I'll be at like a family gathering for Christmas or Thanksgiving and they're always like just chill and calm down and relax and like sitting on a couch talking to people or watching TV stresses me out. I get calm by doing things, by moving things forward, especially when it's like I have a really fun like this LLC build out has been like the best. It's like that build out mode that I haven't gotten in 7 years.
Nice. You want to talk about that a little bit? You want to share with us what you're kind of building out, what you're thinking about with that, or is it too early?
No, it's not too early. Everything's sealed up. We have trademarks and even our website's like awesome now. So everything's good to go. We're just waiting really like Q1 to roll out to really start selling stuff. But we've always, for my cleaning business, we've always built our own trucks and flatbeds and trailers out and skids ourselves. I think it was just like capital scarcity. Like I don't want to go pay somebody $30,000 to do it when I can do it for like $8,000. So it was like a resource issue in the beginning, but we got really good at it just by trial and error. And then we built a new truck out again, and we have some feedback from some local guys that were like, how much would you charge to build one for them? So that kind of sparked the interest of it a little bit. And then when we started seeing some numbers come back, we were just kind of intrigued. So we decided, I think I had an off day like you. And I spent 30 minutes with my Secretary of State website and was like, I got an LLC.
So very cool. So you're building that out and then it sounds like there's great opportunity to scale that and grow that.
Yeah, there's a big opportunity because the only good builders, they're just so far from us because we're in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So you're either down in Texas, you're in Oregon, where like Tim Cray is, or you're in Florida, where all the other big builders are. So there's like this 1,500-mile radius of
Okay.
just people that either have to drive really far to go get that equipment, or we can just source it here more locally for us.
Very cool. So you've got business partners in that business?
No, I don't ever do
No.
partners.
Oh, you don't ever. Okay. Okay.
No.
I was thinking you were okay. Cause you said, okay. So you're doing that. So tell me this. Cause in your intro, I talked about all the different things that you're doing. So how do you plan your days to make sure that I mean, you've got 5 different things you've got going on. Plus you're a writer, which takes a completely different kind of focus, obviously. So how do you plan and structure your time to make sure you're leading all of those companies and feeding those companies in the way that they need to be fed?
It was very challenging in the beginning. The easiest way to keep it as organized as it is, and it's very, very organized, is I know for about 4 weeks exactly where I'm going to be by an hour. So either I'm on site with somewhere, doing a site visit for somebody. We're spending like the wintertime, it's writing. So when the cleaning businesses are slower, it gives me a lot more time at the office. So I can really start the writing process. And that typically takes about 12 months though. It's like you get a lot of work done in 90 days. And then it's 9 months of editing and reaching out to people to read, to proofread it, to edit again. So that's much slower.
Okay.
But it's not that complicated. So when or Washing with a Purpose is our nonprofit. We go donate cleaning services to people that are going through treatment. That's a Friday route. Like those happen on Friday. So we know typically this truck does 4 to 5 houses a day for that route. But Google Calendars and Jobber has been like the best thing
Okay.
ever, because I can color coordinate everything on the calendar, but also everybody sees it. Like everybody's involved in these schedules can see the calendar. So they know what I'm doing and what they're doing. Everybody knows where they're at. So it's like a huge open line of communication.
How do you do the mental shift between those different things? Because that's pretty significant. Those are really different hats, I would think.
I don't think about it too much as far as a mental shift. I think I'm just always in it like all the time. It's like we have the weekends, but even on the weekends, I'll be doing family stuff, but my mind's like working the family stuff. And then part of my mind's like working on the business stuff coming up for this next week, or, we're never really relaxing.
Okay. That's just who you are. And that's how you're wired, it sounds.
Yeah, got to keep going for sure.
Yep. I hear you. Let me ask you, this is kind of a different question, but obviously the more sort of successful you become and the bigger you become with your businesses, the more opportunities come your way.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of filter or decision-making process do you go through to decide yes, decide no, that sort of thing?
It was tough. So earlier on, I had a business coach. It was Bennett Grove, and he was walking me through the same process. He's like, one day you're going to be so busy with stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't even know what that is going to be like, because I'm struggling to make like $3,000 a month,
Right. Yeah.
But he was right. Slowly this compounds. There's dividends of opportunities that start coming in. But it was always about using the word no, not to hurt somebody's feelings or say this project isn't worth my time or like worthy of the efforts that we put into it. But you're really just saying yes to the stuff you really want to focus on, prioritize. Mm-hmm. So that's been like my last year's mantra, is to say no more in the most polite way, because it's tough. Because it's, somebody comes to you with a project that they have so much passion and integrity to grow and build, and then you say you're not interested to help. It's like you have to phrase things correctly. But in my mind, I know it's like if I say no to this, which would require a huge chunk of my time, mental bandwidth, I can focus on these 3 other projects what I'm really, really passionate about.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for saying yes to this podcast, man.
For you, always.
Thank you. I've started asking that question because I developed this new sort of filter for myself. My filter used to be fun for most stuff, for business opportunities, as well as like travel, like just, is it fun? Okay, fun. Cause I was like in this like massive, I'm like, I believe in fun, obviously, like that's like who I am as well. But as I grew my cleaning company and my coaching company, I had more free time and more space to just do whatever. And so I was like, was it fun? Yes. Is it fun? Yes. And then all of a sudden I had so much fun, it was like almost too much fun. And so I put together this other filter. I call it the calm filter, and I use it like for my business opportunities as well as personal opportunities. It's like, is this decision, and it's for big ones, but is it connected? So does it keep me connected with myself and with others? Is it aligned with my vision and my values? Is it lucrative financially or otherwise? And is it momentum building? And if it doesn't meet that filter, like
It makes it pretty easy.
it does. And I apply it to social situations too. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, no, like, and not that and lucrative is like giving in a way. It's not necessarily just money, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
that's not a social thing, but I apply it everywhere and it really helps because I protecting my own sort of personal
Yeah.
space and joy and family
Uh-huh.
time and all of that is because saying yes to something means saying no to something else, right?
Yeah.
So,
I always call it like an ROI filter. The same metrics, just like different verbiage. It's like, does this
yep,
provide me money eventually? Is this going to, help my businesses grow? Is this going to help me in some manner that it was positive? And a lot of
right.
times when you start asking questions about something, it becomes pretty obvious it'd be a misuse of your time,
Yes,
with
it
your
is. Yep. Hey, in growing your businesses, can you think of, and you might not be able to off the top of your head, but some like decision that you make that you didn't filter very well and it had like an amazing benefit to you?
I think when we started washing with a purpose, it was such an organic, like emotional decision to do it. So this was back in like 2020, 2019. This was like my first year or so in business. It was just me about the time. I was the truck guy, the accounting guy, marketing that role for sure. And then we had somebody reach out. Her name was Charlotte, and she was like, "Hey," it was the same phone she wanted her house cleaned. I was like, "Okay, cool." So we'll get information, her address, her email, and then right then I can give her a price. We were using Responsive heavily, so it was like this nice price generating conversation. I gave her the price. She said it was way too much. She was out of her budget, and that she was going through a treatment or cancer treatment, and she couldn't afford it. And she hung up the phone on me and was like, "I didn't know what to do with that." I'm just like a new dude.
Right. Totally.
Yeah,
Totally. Yeah. And you're like, I'm just trying to make a money. I'm
I
trying to
know.
make
It's like,
my ends meet. Yeah.
yeah. So it kind of sat with me, sadly, for 3 or 4 days. So I had her address. So I just drove over there one day to talk to her, and I got to know her a little bit. And after about an hour on her porch, just listening to her life story and what she's going through, I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'll just do it for free. I'm already here. I had the truck here and the trailer here." And she was like emotionally struck that somebody would do that for her because she didn't have like a big family, gathering and stuff. So I did it. Spent 2 hours doing it. In the walk around, she was just in like tears, like gator tears, which is like it
Wow.
really it woke my heart up because typically I don't have the response to stuff,
Hmm.
more business focused. I was like, you know what? If I can help her, I can help other people. So I went back for the next, I don't know, month, spending it, figuring out how much I needed to raise prices on my cleaning business to be able to put money into the for profit. So TS Services funds Washing with a Purpose. So we started that, and we haven't looked back. It's been probably the most. It's also like something we don't market on like a any kind of paid campaign. It is all word of mouth. So
Mm.
everybody we get in goes to our website and they apply there, and we get to eventually everybody. That's kind of how it works.
That's
But that's
awesome, Tyler.
yeah.
It's interesting because I remember when I first started my cleaning company and people like started asking me stuff for free. And I did not have that reaction at first because I mean, I was just scraping by,
Yeah.
and I was like, how can they be asking me stuff for free right now?
I don't
I'm just
have it.
getting stuff. I don't have it for myself.
Uh-huh.
But there's always, I mean, it was part of my learning process that was my mindset at that point in time. It's not anymore, right? I think that we always have something to give,
Yeah.
honestly. And so that just shows you're more evolved than me. Nice work there, bro. But that's that's a really beautiful story. And have you, I'm sure you've heard in the house cleaning industry, there's a national nonprofit called Cleaning for a Reason.
Yeah.
Um,
Did
and
you have a lot of history with them?
what's that?
Did you have a lot of history with them?
Oh yeah, we partner with them for sure. Yeah. But they reached out to me right when I started. I swear to God, like I filed the LLC and they were calling me the next day. And I was like, how can I do this? Like I was waiting tables at the time. I was doing all kinds of things to pay my mortgage and all that stuff, as a
Yeah.
lot of us are when we first started business.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I think they're an incredible organization. Have you thought about taking Washing for a Reason or Washing with a Purpose, sorry, national?
No, not really. We're serving a lot of people in our area right now. I don't know how that might be like a Debbie question one day if I ever have the capacity for some more time stuff. But I would like to. I think there's a purpose for it. I think there's a big need, especially just seeing like the Northeast Oklahoma area, how many people were
Yeah.
able to help and stuff. It expands to the rest of the country.
Yeah, it's just the way it works is they're just the clearinghouse. Like they just we pay, like I pay to be a part of Cleaning for a Reason. And
Hmm.
they accept the applications and send them to us. It's just
Oh, I could sort that. Right.
so you could sort. Yeah. You totally. I mean, and a lot of it, I'm sure at this point could definitely be automated pretty easily and stuff.
That's cool.
Anyway.
Something else for the list. I don't want to sleep 2 hours a day.
Once you start getting up at 2:30, you can start working on that instead of 3:30.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. 3 is the minimum. I'm not getting up for that.
Hey friend, a quick break to ask you to please go to livebrightshow.com to be added to my email list. Here's the thing. I hate email, so I pretty much guarantee you're not going to receive anything excessive. Only important things like when I have new options in my coaching program, offer free challenges, new courses, release a new pod, or perhaps an occasional biz life tip. That's livebrightshow.com. Now back to the pod.
With Live Bright and the Live Bright show, I talk a lot about leadership as well. I see leadership as being I see it as a skill set, of course, that has a lot of different sort of components to it. And I think it's one of the primary things that stops people from being able to successfully scale their business or multiple businesses, or like live like a bright life or a happy life, a joyful life, because they haven't figured out some of their own self-leadership or leadership of others. So you've done a lot. I mean, I was looking at your stuff, and you started your first business just like 6 or 7 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, 2019. Now, I was a W-2 corporate dude for a long time with Starbucks, and I loved it. But I just started this on the side for weekends and then figure out how to price.
Look at that. That's amazing. I mean, and look what you've done in the last like 6 years. So talk to me, if you would, a little bit about like, how has your leadership grown and evolved as you've grown your businesses?
I don't know if it's changed that much, because it was always like, it was so customer, I guess it has changed a little bit, or in terms of our focus, because it was so customer facing in the beginning. You know, we were doing services that we don't offer now just for the sake of like getting $1 into the bank account kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
We were staining fences. We were cleaning like inside of pools and painting them. It was a gambit. I could have had a museum of bad service product ideas. But we did them and made some money. It was like the foundation of what we do now. But along the way, if you do enough services for long enough, you'll start to get some data on what your P mix like looks like, your product mix. It's like, do windows have the best ROI? Is it gutters? And then you start seeing things like certain zip codes can withstand a higher price point for window cleaning than another zip code that is just 10 miles down the road. So we somehow turned into a cleaning company that was really like a data and marketing company that just now happens to just clean stuff. This is the way we operate our leadership. It's like, even the prices we set it's different zip code wise. Like I have a window cleaning quote for Bigsby. It's going to be different from like Broken Arrow, which is a subset of Tulsa, and vice versa. So we look at things differently than just like the cleaning aspect now. So with our for-profit, it is just so data driven. We don't even really make the decisions anymore. We're just reviewing the data sets that they're accurate and moving our pricing and stuff and our marketing spend that way. So it's like if we have a zip code that has it doesn't like that, we never have like a gutter cleaning ticket in this zip code. Why are we putting marketing funds over there if they're always just saying no? We'll shift it. That's really how it's changed over the time, is like seeing what actually pays, the best ROI per service on our marketing spend.
That's awesome. I love, actually, thanks for mentioning that about zip codes and different pricing for zip codes, because I think so many of us are just like, okay, what can our area do? I mean, there's 1 million people in my metro region, and right now we're charging them all the same, right, for house cleaning, and that probably really doesn't make sense. We could probably do a lot better in certain areas than we are in others, or so that's a great tip. Where are you seeing now with trends, with everything that's happening out there? Are you seeing any trends around ChatGPT or anything like that?
We did. So traditionally, we have just a big recurring model. So most of our business is like recurring pool deck cleanings in the spring, ongoing window cleaning, interior, exterior, and the gutter cleaning. It's like this monthly, quarterly, 6 months, annual client rotation. And then we also have like a paid version. It's like we have Facebook campaigns, Google, and there's some other things that we've spent some money on. We've had a lot of organic traffic come in the last, 6 weeks probably. It's like end of season 2, which is more like high alert status, is why we have so many like tickets come in now. A lot of our clients, and over the last 6 weeks, we've had about $35,000 in gross revenue, not net, come in from people getting suggestions for us for their window cleaning or gutter cleaning based on ChatGPT's like recommendation to their users. And it's like, how does this happen? And I was like, wow, like I didn't trigger this. I feel like I'm going to take credit for it. somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you figured out, and that's amazing. So I have not heard those numbers I mean, I know people are tracking it, but I haven't heard that kind of ROI or that kind of influx, I
Yeah,
should say, not
it's
ROI.
pretty insane. So it's like the first thing I do is I come back to the office and I start asking chat, like, hey, we were recommended by X many number of clients, the zip code today. It's like, how does this happen? So it'll walk you through how it looks for a business. And a lot of it is just reviews on Google. Like that's like currently the main data set that it's suggesting. So if your work service area is in, I don't know, where Tulsa, Bixby, Claremore, it'll rank for window cleaning, whoever has the biggest 5-star reviews. So we have a couple hundred. It's like, I don't know, but it's a lot for the area. Like nobody else is close. And I think that's a lot of the trigger points is we started focusing on 5-star reviews from the very beginning, not knowing where the game was going to go. But I loved seeing the numbers. And it was like service mastery. Whenever a client Googles you or searches your name, it's like, oh, they can't be that bad kind of thing. So we'll give them a shot.
I know for sure reputation and knowingness. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah. But now the dividends are like, they're incredible. It's pretty awesome what's happening. I'm excited for 26, like looking at end of like Q1, what this is going to look like. Cause that's when we ramp up. It's like March time. We go from no revenue to just everybody, all hands on deck kind of thing. So who knows what this is going to turn into.
I want to talk about that with your staffing pieces. But first I want to just ask you or mention, I was reading or hearing recently that chat's also sourcing YouTube for a lot of stuff. So we should be putting energy into our YouTube channels and more long form, like blog content, that sort of thing, which I thought was really interesting. And it's on our list. We show up in chat too, for sure, but we haven't gotten a lot of direct feedback yet, but I've been wanting to build out more of our long form. And I mean, we have a YouTube channel. It's really lame. I'm like, but if it's going to be one of the main sources where it's going, like Google 5-star reviews, then being on there is key, right?
Oh, I agree. You know, it's funny now thinking about it. We were at a ResponsiCon, I think, or it was like a year ago. Megan Lax and I were next to each other listening to a speech. And I just asked my chat one day, I was like, hey, who's the best window cleaner in Tulsa? We came up. And I thought it was just because I used the service, not because it actually prompted it. But I think it's kind of been reading this for a long time. And Megan did the same thing. It's like for Davis, California, she was like #1, but she has a ton of reviews also. So I think there's a long form game being played that we didn't pick up on then, but now it's full fledged. Like it's absolutely happening.
Interesting. Yep. It's crazy. So I know actually your first book was about being known in marketing. It was called, wait, tell me what it was called again. I'm really sorry.
The best known beat the best.
Will you tell us a little bit about that? Because that obviously is a marketing and growth book, right?
Yeah. So every time I write a book, it's never like an intentions to write a book and publish it on Amazon. It's literally, you should see my phone, the notes app. It's horrendous. So it's like hundreds and hundreds of like half sentence thoughts, or when I chat with you, I'll jot down on my way to a next meeting what like an interesting point was. And it'll be just like 1,000 of those. And so in the off season, like what we're walking into now, I can kind of start to organize. Like, oh, there's some validity there. This would be fun to dive into a little bit, and you kind of start sorting, and then you kind of start adding some content to it. But that's how the book started. Just like whatever the theme of the conversations were that 12 months, get turned into a book. And like when we built, this one, this was never meant to be a book. But Abby's like, you should really organize that because it was a disaster.
That's amazing. Did you like start out thinking I'm going to be an author, and now you're
No, I was the kid that was so bored in high school. Like my grades were like C's. Not that because I was dumb. I was just so uninterested in what we were doing.
Yeah.
It's funny because now I go talk to high schools and colleges. I tell them that like just because you have bad grades doesn't mean you're dumb. Like don't let people tell you you're dumb. No, but it wasn't for Abby. Like tell me to organize it. And I put it into a book and then released it on Amazon. And I released it like, oh, it's done. Thank God I can move on to the next thing. My mind's free. And then like JC's wife, Angela, reached out. She's like, are you going for a bestseller run? I'm like, what is that? What does that do? Because she had one do that.
Right.
So in 30 seconds, I can see all the dots. Like she's typing. She gives me this like 90-minute like how to like start marketing this. You need to sell this many copies and you got to do these things. And it did really well, mostly because Angela and Megan like marketed the fire out of it. You know?
That's good to have good friends, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I had no intentions of that. But it turned out good. I enjoy writing now. It's been a fun process. But everybody has their own way of writing. So you sit down and write a book in one day. It's okay to take 15 months. you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So the book you just came out with was built not bought.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a lot about like mindset, habits, leadership, culture. Is that right? I
Yeah.
haven't read it. Full disclosure. I told you beforehand,
No.
I'm
Yeah.
on a little hiatus right now.
You
So,
might hate it. Who knows?
oh, I bet I
You
won't.
loved it though.
I'm sure I loved it.
Like that 12 months, I was spending a lot of time in like colleges and high schools talking to kids. Like, how did this even happen? But they all kind of had the same theme of like these self-limiting beliefs on what they could do based on where they come from. And I was no exception. I think after talking to so many people that are so early on, like their entrepreneur life, they think that every business owner came from like a trust fund, you know. And I have to remind them this started with like a $200 pressure washer. I didn't know what marketing was. I didn't know how to price stuff. So you don't have to come from a trust fund to grow something really extraordinary. But just don't be afraid to do it, you know, over 5 and 7 years. Don't expect it to happen in a month. You know,
it doesn't happen in a month ever.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
No.
I'd have 100 LLCs.
Totally. So it sounds like you're speaking a lot these days. Is that right?
Locally, yeah, I don't like to travel a lot unless I just have to. Like we go to Indianapolis in a couple months. We've gotten into a really fun training for like people entering like the drone industry and pressure washing and window cleaning. So I'll go just talk to new entrepreneurs. It's the same chat we're having now.
Okay.
I'll have slides, but I just literally start asking what they want to know, and I'll just go down and we'll fill 3 hours before you know it. It's pretty fun.
That is really fun. I was actually at a mastermind recently, and the Mike Michalowicz. I don't know if you know Mike Michalowicz.
Yeah.
He wrote Profit First. He did that, and it was great. It was just like you're getting coached on the spot. It was amazing. So that's great. So Built Not Bought, it came out of all those conversations. Was that like your year of conversations? And you're like, okay, I'm going to talk about
that was this
mindset
year.
and leadership. Yeah. What would you say the biggest sorts of lessons that came out of that might be?
I think the new entrepreneurs and younger people, they misunderstand the importance of delayed gratification at the time because they're so used to seeing somebody on YouTube or some kind of influencer, you know, Shopify or TikTok making, you know, $100,000 from their couch, which they're probably not, but that's the appearance, the outside looking in. So a lot of people just feel like little saddened by it, like they're never going to do that. So I just talk about it's okay to take your time and build something really incredible. But also, you don't have to come from a lot of money or have to have a parents that were entrepreneurs, because I certainly didn't. You know, they're very hard workers as W-2 life, which is absolutely fine. I did it for 20 years, and it's given me a lot in life. You know, I don't think I'd be the entrepreneur now that I currently am if I didn't have that big corporate background as far as like P&L research and seeing a financial statement, and within 60 seconds you can get a grasp on where our cash flow is going, kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, I'll preach some stuff like that. You have to have some financial literacy. The biggest thing I see with year 1 through 3 businesses isn't that they're trying to start marketing. They can't handle their cash flow. It's like their AR gets too high, and then they just like kind of bankrupt themselves because they don't collect money.
Right.
What we're seeing around here a lot. You see that where you're from?
Oh yeah, I see that. I see that with my clients. I have my coaching clients, and I see that with. I mean, we have done that before, and I realize that when I don't pay attention to it, now we have metrics around there. Because I mean, except for our commercial accounts, and we do have some commercial accounts where people pay once a month and whatever. Everything else is like cash. It's like you get your haircut, you freaking pay for your haircut. You get your house cleaned, you pay for your house cleaning. And so there should be no AR with most of the services that we do, you know? And so I realized that in my house cleaning company that I wasn't paying close attention. And all of a sudden they were like, oh yeah, we've got like 7,000 in uncollected. And I was like, 7,000 in uncollected invoices. Get me that money. Like, what is going on? That is not okay. You know, so now we have metrics around it, but I had to learn that one the hard way a few years ago. Right. Like, and so, yeah, no, I think one thing that I failed at doing was, as a leader, was imparting that sort of that plan and mindset and whatever with my team, with the people that are collecting the money. Like, no, we don't go back out to their house if they have an unpaid invoice. Like, we don't owe them that. Like, they owe us money before we go back out to their house. So yeah, and that's been a gap that I've been bridging now, for that among other things.
I think it's tricky because it happens so slowly. It's like I'm really good about keeping up on AR. Like, usually it's like low, but for some reason I haven't been looking at that as a KPI. It was so much. The next day I cleared my entire schedule and I stayed on the phone, and it was a ton of money back in that just kind of, I forgot about it. The clients, forgot about it.
Yeah, sure. Quote unquote, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, I think it's a creep. And when you're dealing with, depending on your size business and whatever, it's like you just,
Mhm.
it doesn't necessarily seem like that much. And then I'm like, well, hang on, that's like $7,000 or $10,000 or whatever it is. Like, that's a lot of money. That's not nothing.
I agree.
$1,000 is not nothing. Like, anyway, yeah, I think it's an important one for sure. So, what do you in the I'll say, I guess, in the pressure washing world or exterior world, what trends are you seeing? What are you kind of excited about and looking
I think
at?
I'm just still so enthralled with the recurring revenue model and how it's developed itself over a couple of years. Because this is only our third year with a maintenance agreement model for our residential clients and commercial now too.
Will you walk me through that so that I understand that whole model in your
Yeah, and
industry?
it's like one of those ideas, you hear it and it's so good, you get like pissed you didn't think about it yourself, It's like, why didn't I think of that? But it came from a mastermind. We were in Nashville. I was talking to Megan, rolled hers out. She was at the end of year one and she was like saying all the success that it had. I was like, well, we could kind of implement that. So I picked her brain on how do you systematize this? Because that sounds like it could be very office labor hours heavy, like to keep track of everything. And then just one quick conversation with her, we kind of lined things out and we started rolling it out. And it was very slow in the beginning. Like I think we had, I don't know, maybe $40,000 in recurring, which is a great start for the next year. But it's kind of compounded. And now we're doing, we have about 450 clients, I should say, we have every year on either
Wow.
monthly, quarterly, some kind of annual process we only do it for 3 services though. So it's like
Okay.
pool decks for the spring. We'll do a bunch of pool decks. And
Okay.
then as the other are window cleaning, interior, exterior, and then gutter cleaning.
Okay.
So that's what kind of
And
started.
and so you've got those on a recurring model with your clients. And then do you have a lot of clients that are using several of them so you have more of a year round? Is that what you're saying? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I really love the 6-month model because we get to see those houses twice a year. So it's like you don't need as many clients as you think to do 7 figures,
Right.
especially if you can get them on a 6-month. It's like you're just chopping all the metrics in half and everything becomes very, I don't know, unintimidating. Because when you finally start to get like an average ticket number, or you see what your cost per lead is, it's like, to get to this number, I need some leads, which means I need a marketing spend. And then your mind
Right.
starts to fizz with
Yeah.
steam.
Yours does.
Yeah.
4 a.m.
But we didn't start out that way. Like we were so in because pressure washing has a much higher average ticket return. So like our average ticket back in the day was like $1,000, $1,200 a stop, but we would only see that client once every 4 years.
Oh,
So I
right.
know it's like it's very exciting the day of when you get the check, but it's like my P&L was like, well, we need a lot more of that. So,
Right.
and I didn't know
Right.
how to close that big that often. So it's much easier for me to close like a $300 window cleaning package, that I can sell twice a year. So that's kind of the thought behind of it.
Okay. Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it's funny because I don't think there's a ton of pressure washing here in our area. And I don't know, we're the desert, but we just got this at my home. We just got it in our exterior maybe the second time in 10 years. But I'm like, I want it all the time, except that I don't like the water waste potential part of it because we're in the desert. But like, it's so nice because it just removes so much dirt and grime and whatever. And so, is there a potentially less expensive model for people so that you could get it on a quarterly? Like, it'd be amazing if I could get that done quarterly and it not cost me $800, right?
No, you could. We don't offer that. You
Yeah.
totally could though. What we don't have, so Tulsa doesn't have a lot of mold or mildew growth on houses. So we're seeing a return at the earliest every other year for somebody to go do a house wash for their entire
Okay.
exterior. Otherwise, we would just be going back with like fluffy headed poles to get like cobwebs and stuff down.
Right.
The service somebody does in Tulsa, which I think is incredible. So what they do is they charge everybody $49 a month, and every house gets hit every month. It's a monthly service. But those techs will drive in and they will spend 5 minutes with one of those big headed brooms on top of a carbon pole and
Yep.
just getting like cobwebs, spider webs, and moving
Yep.
on. It's like the greatest thing. I love it. So
Wow.
I can think that's a subset service we could add on. It's pretty linear to what we're doing.
Yeah. What about decks and patios? No?
it's a pretty small request. I think there's clients that would desire that.
That's what we had. That's actually what we had. We didn't have our house, so there's no need for our house. We had our deck and our deck. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Interesting. So what do you think I know you just came out with this book, but it kind of sounds like now you're in for an annual. Am I right on that? Like, or is it every? Yeah.
Oh, this one was a lot.
Yeah.
I think I sent this book out to, I don't know, like a bunch of old professors from OSU, some friends that you and I have a tight circle with, because I want everybody's feedback. Like, give me your edits, I'll make the edits.
Yeah.
And I do want to write a third one just to be done as a third, but then I'm going to say I'm going to write a fourth one because the next winter's coming.
Right. I know. I'm like, you're about to head into your slow season. So what are you going to be writing about?
I don't know, I have a bunch of notes I need to read through for this last year. It's been really interesting. A lot of people are just wanting to sell reoccurring services and for like coursework, like, like what Playing for a Reason kind of does and things like that. You pay your $5 a month, you have access to all this online data and information. I think it's pretty flooded though, at least because I'm so saturated in it. It feels flooded. You know what I mean? It's like I'm too close to it. Kind of thing.
I know. Right. It's kind of like what we were talking about before, like in terms of having our off days and then actually realizing like, oh, we're actually doing quite a lot because we're surrounded by people that are doing a lot of stuff too. It's like perspective. Like, I think the world doesn't need another coach. Like,
We got
I'm like,
enough.
we got enough, but that's just because that's the world I'm in. And I'm like, oh, but the world does need another Tyler or another, like, I don't know. It's an interesting, I think when you're in it, you don't necessarily see.
That's what Abby said that the same thing last month, because you and I are just so used to getting so much done in a day. It just feels like a normal thing now. So when we get like a lot of stuff done in comparison to somebody else, we're like, we didn't really do much today. I feel pretty unsatisfied with myself. But she's like, you have these groups you get to go travel with, and it's like you, me, and Drew, and this incredible group of really high performing entrepreneurs. I feel like we're all quietly pushing each other. Like to do more and accomplish more and to do it better. And
sometimes not quietly. But I was like,
I've had a wake-up call before. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's amazing. It's amazing to be around other high performers. And then sometimes it's really humbling too, because you're like, oh man, I don't know. And it's funny, my wife just retired. She did 27 years as a school psychologist. And didn't your wife just sell her business too?
She's about to. So when this comes out, talk about it.
I'll wait. Sorry, or I'll cut. Okay, I'll wait to put it out. But it's just like a different life stage. People who are gearing up and creating and all of that. Yeah,
I know. And she's so focused on she wants to join some of the stuff that we're doing now and take over some ownership of things that she really hits her heart on, like Launching with Purpose. She really wants to dive into. So she'll still be busy. And I'm excited for her to have a different circle too.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I bet.
But the comparison.
Tyler, go ahead. Sorry.
The comparison thing is so true. It's like we do really good, like our circle. Then you meet like a Brandon Vaughn or a Tommy Mello, and it's
I know.
Oh, how do they do that?
Totally. Yeah, they are. But so are you, Tyler. I'm here to tell you, you are incredible. I'm so glad to have this time with you today. I'd love to ask you just a couple of other like fun, like maybe lighthearted, I don't know, questions before we wrap up. I want to respect your time and let you get on to your next thing. Does that sound all right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. But actually, before I forget, where can people find your books? So tell them the name of your books and where you'd like your preferred sort of purchase place. And we'll put it all in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
But tell us that. And then where can they just find you and learn more about you?
Yeah, Amazon is a great start for both of these books. You can get them on Amazon now. I think they're both in the top 100 still for like entrepreneurship, which is wild.
Yeah.
This is like years old.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah, find me on Facebook. I don't get on there a ton, but message me. I get on there. I try like at the end of the day for a few minutes to check messages and stuff. Yeah, just Tyler Starkey on Facebook.
Okay. All right. We'll get that in the show notes too. All right. So Tyler, tell me this. So this is a different question for you actually, because you've got like all this land around you that you've built out. I'm like, I think I need to buy land in Oklahoma. I have this fantasy of having land. And so maybe that's the place. Yeah. So you've got all this land. So let's say you've got a wide open Sunday, family time and whatever time. What do you choose to do?
We spend a lot of time outside. Like it's raining outside, but I'm going to turn this camera around so you guys can see. So this is where my piano is. So this is kind of like the front view.
Oh yeah. You got some land. Look, it's so pretty.
It's a rainy day though. We spend a lot of time outside. We have trails out in the back. The boys are always wanting to go walk, and Liam's big enough now he can like drive our ATVs. So he's like chauffeuring us through
Oh,
the
that's
woods.
cute. Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, but yeah, we try to us disconnecting as a family is not being around computers or the TVs. It's definitely outside, lights off stuff. Abby has a greenhouse we're always in. Like she's got fall tomatoes going right now, so we're getting a bunch of tomatoes again. So
That's amazing.
I think that's our unwind is to truly disconnect because that's the only way I can disconnect. If I have this in my hand, I'm working. Like I'm quiet, working, taking notes for like a tomorrow's thing or
Yeah, it's like a gift and a curse, right? It's
Yeah.
like, no, I hear you. I hear you.
Mhm.
I have actually one of my mentors. She has a second iPhone that's
Mhm.
not connected to the internet. That just has, I think it has some meditations loaded on it, and maybe a note taker. Maybe that's it. But like just like a couple of basic things so that she can
That's
still.
a good idea.
Yeah, I thought it was a great idea too.
Mhm.
Okay. This is like really silly and ridiculous, but would you rather circle the world in a spaceship or would you rather explore under the sea in a submarine?
Do I have to be in a spaceship to be in space?
No.
Yep, by
How
myself.
by
Flying around.
yourself, flying around, just flying around like in a spacesuit, knocking the space trash out
Yes,
as you go.
absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'd
just
like to
push
go
me
to
in a
space.
direction.
I'd like to go to space too. All right. Would you rather be hot all the time or be a human bear? Like,
A human bear, like right now, it's 58 degrees in this room, and it's the
oh my
best.
God, you're wearing a t-shirt, bro. You're already a human
Sweating,
bear.
but
You're
I have
sweating.
fancy sweatpants on.
That's good. They gather it all.
Yeah, I like it cold. I sleep cold. Abby's always got blankets on her, and I'm always like sheets wide open. So very cold.
Nice.
What
Okay.
are you a beach person or a mountains person?
Oh God, that is a really tough one for me. If I had to choose one, I'd say mountains though.
Yeah, same.
But it depends on the mountains. I like green mountains and mountains with like I live in the desert. I think it's beautiful here where I am, but it's very brown and rocky, and I like
Right.
forests and that sort of thing. But
Mhm.
usually there's lakes and streams and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, Colorado
mountains.
for sure.
Yeah, I go up to Southern Colorado. Sometimes I take myself on a little trip up there, a solo trip, and I like work, I hike and or mountain bike, and I get massages. And
Mhm.
it's like freaking so dreamy. Like I do that for
You're
like
ever coming
3 days.
back?
I do that for like 3 days. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I usually go with like some big project that I'm like, I must knock this out. And then
Uh-huh.
I fit everything else in. Yeah, it's pretty great.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay. Last question for you, Tyler.
Mhm.
Do you feel like this? Oh no, not my last question. 2 more questions. What advice would you have for younger you or somebody who's just getting started? You
I was
kind
gonna
of
ask
touched you touched on this a little bit. Oh, you're gonna ask me that?
I was gonna ask literally I was gonna ask you a question. Oh man. I think in the beginning, if I go back to say before I started my LLC, I had the idea. I wish I could have had a dream where I was telling myself to, if you knew you couldn't miss, how big would you shoot for? Kind of thing. It's like if we can achieve all these things that at one time I thought were unequivocally, non-negotiably unachievable, and we're doing them daily now, it's like I don't think I would have shot different, but this would have not been the end goal. This would have been like a much shorter time span goal. Because now it's like my eyes are open to if you can execute daily on a goal, I know
Yeah.
what that turns into, the dividends due in 3 and 5 years. I didn't have the capacity or view, back in 2019 when this all started.
Right.
So now
So
I think that's why I load stuff up on my plate now. It's like I know what this all could turn into. If I just slowly work daily on all this stuff, this will all happen. It's almost like,
did you say that you know where you're going to be for the next 4 months?
yeah, 4 weeks is what I said.
4 weeks. Oh, wow. So you're very scheduled out.
Yeah, it's like somebody wanted to meet up the other day. I was like, God, no,
No.
not even. That's rude to ask. Sorry.
Right. Right. Well, that's amazing. So I guess the advices would be sort of aim higher or just aim for the whatever.
Oh,
for the
shoot
stars.
big.
Shoot
Shoot
big.
big. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're still young. Is that what you're doing now? Sounds like it. Shooting real big.
Yeah, I mean, I see TS services going on for at least another 5 years before we exit. We have an exitable model now, but we're starting to dig into more of our EBITDA. Like, what is
Yep.
our value going to be worth in 5 years? Now it's really good, but it could be substantial. Like, I know people in this segment of like blue collar service industry, they're getting like 8 times EBITDA on their exit. So
Mm-hmm.
we're looking a lot about valuation numbers right now.
Okay.
It's just like when you start a business, you have to have the end goal in mind the
Yep.
whole way through. It's like you can be flexible on the middle stuff, like the short-term goals. You have to be just so relentlessly solid structure on the end goal. Everything else can kind of be fluctuated along the way.
Right. Right. And is it true in your industry? I know it is in the house cleaning industry that your multiple goes up the higher your EBITDA is. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
like selling a $2 million cleaning company, you're not going to get much, whereas selling an $8 million, the multiples are get much larger the bigger you are too. Not just the
Yeah.
amount, but the multiples.
Yeah. And the multiples get easier if you have a recurring model. If you have some kind of
Right.
like client maintenance contract, it makes everything
Yep.
so much easier to find a valuation and a real good number too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay. How about me? Be more specific.
So when you think about like Live Bright, when it
Yeah.
first started, what do you think it's going to be in 3 years?
Oh, I have big LiveBright. LiveBright's a global movement that is
Uh-huh.
impacting hundreds of thousands of
Right.
entrepreneurs. Yeah, LiveBright's big. And it's interesting because I mean, it's funny because as I've gotten older, I'm 50, which is not old, but
Yeah.
life changes, priorities change, health stuff comes in, all kinds of things start to happen at different ages, and or you've got young children, like that's where you are, like you've got different time constraints for different things. But Live Bright, I started with a massive goal, like in
Mm-hmm.
mind, which Green Sweep I sort of did, but then I got kind of beat down by it because I didn't know what I was doing. And now that has shifted again. So I have very big goals there too. But yeah, aim higher, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest advice is just like, and it's really simple, but just like get started. Just
Yeah.
freaking do it. Just do
Mhm.
something every single day. And I think that we care more than anyone else cares,
Oh,
and
for
so
sure.
it's
Yeah.
just like nobody else is noticing your screw ups and your mistakes or your this, or you know what I mean? And so I've definitely, I would say, I've taken that on as a coach, and as I've started to build the Live Bright show and the Live Bright, and then like just the whole movement. It's a movement. Like I want to inspire and empower hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs to
Mhm.
live lives that are like more joyful, more successful, more free, more profitable.
Mhm.
And I feel like very, very passionately because I've been the burned out, like
Oh yeah.
unhappy, but making good money, like entrepreneur as well. I've been that, and now I'm something else. And it's an ongoing practice. And that's also what I want to teach people. Like there's just not a point. It's not like one point and it's perfection. It's just like, okay, every day it's just I'm doing something, I'm doing a little something. That's why the daily shine protocol is such a thing as well,
Mhm.
So just get started. I think that's the thing. So many people have this idea that they have to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
And you don't. You just got to
No, I
start.
didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right. Right. I know. I know. Yeah. 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 And I think that there's so much out there, like with this idea of overnight success. But the longer I'm around and the longer I watch my peers grow and expand, I'm like, they're putting in the time. They're putting in the effort to up level their health, their mindsets, and everything else. It's not just this overnight thing where all of a sudden you're a millionaire. So yeah, just get started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear it was a thing for a while. Must be nice. It was like, oh,
Ugh,
must be nice. I got this. I put it on a shirt, so I wear it sometimes. It's like must
you
be nice.
do. You heard that a lot. Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
nobody sees like the 3 a.m. mornings. They only
No.
see like the Facebook posts or like, it's like this
Right.
very superficial view of what they think
Yeah.
got to this point.
Yeah.
Must be
I
nice.
used I used to hear a lot, well, how did you figure this out? Or how did and I'm like, F you, man, F you. Like, what do you mean, how did I figure this out? Like, I worked my tail off. I educated myself. I surrounded myself with smarter people, like all the things.
Yeah.
I cleaned restaurant floors at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Like, I
Yeah.
did it all.
Must be nice.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Tyler, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was
Absolutely.
really nice to spend some time with you and learn from you. And I'm excited to get this out into the world so other people can hear from you as well.
Well, cool. I appreciate you, Molly. It's always good to catch up with you.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of the Live Bright Show, and we'll see you next time.
And that's it for today. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Live Bright Show. If you enjoyed this pod, please go to livebrightshow.com to be in the know for new program offerings and podcast releases. Molly has more awesome guests and content coming your way, so you're going to want to be on that list. Also, just because you're still listening, it would be incredible if you could go ahead and subscribe to this podcast and provide the show with a 5-star review. You know how they help. Go forth, have fun, and live bright, friends.